Hello everyone, welcome to day 6 of 41 days healing meditation challenge. Let's start our meditation session. Sit comfortably in a relaxed position. Sit on the chair, sofa, or you can sit down comfortably for the next 30 minutes. Close your eyes, clasp your hands, cross your legs. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Focus on your breath. Bring your attention to your natural breath. Feel the air moving in and out through your nose. Just focus on your breath. I love myself. Our mind wanders, but just focus on your breath. I am peaceful. I invite calm. Don't open your eyes. Just focus on your breath. Observe the air going in through the nose and out. I am optimistic. I am a powerful soul. I am strong. Just be an observer for your thoughts. I am a happy soul. I attract peace into my life. I love myself. Let your breath be your anchor in this moment. I respect myself. I am unique. I attract positive things in my life. Just focus on your breath. Be an observer for your thoughts. I am grateful for this moment. Last 5 minutes. Just focus on your breath. Last 3 minutes. Last 2 minutes. Just focus on your breath. Be an observer for your thoughts. Last 1 minute. Last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rub your hands. Slowly place them on your eyes. Take your time. Whenever you're comfortable opening your eyes, Remove your hands and open your eyes and look into your hands with a big smile. So let's continue our book reading session. So yesterday we started with the second chapter, Following My Inner Voice. So we'll just brief up what we discussed yesterday. So the author tells that she started observing her thoughts and she wanted to make a conscious decision to think positively and see what are the changes that are happening in her life. So once she made the decision that to choose her thoughts and be on it, she started noticing so many changes, like all the green lights in the traffic showing up and showing getting parking spots and all other things. And also she started with practicing affirmations and seeing how miracles she was observing in her life. And at the same time she started to become little arrogant. And then she met her master, and her master told that, I think you are having resentment in your life. She laughs and says that resentment? No, I don't have any resentment. Okay, let's continue from here. I continued doing the best I could in my life. I studied metaphysics, spirituality, and learned about myself as much as possible. I grasped what I could, and sometimes I applied to it. So she started spending most of her time working on herself, reading spiritual books, metaphysics books, and grasped whatever is written in the book. We grasp them, but we don't always practice. It's a very good point. She tells that she was reading the book. You understand, you grasp them into your mind, but the author told that we don't practice always. This is very important point. Time seemed to be very quickly, and at that point, I had been studying science of mind for about 3 years and had become a practitioner of the church. I began to teach the philosophy, but I wondered why my students seemed to be floundering. I could not understand why they were so stuck in their problems. So the author, she read many spiritual books. She read metaphysical books, and whatever the content is present in the book, she's been teaching to the students. But the students were all, even after teaching them, the students were still stuck in their life with the problems. So she didn't understand what exactly is happening. I gave them so much good advice. Why aren't they using it and getting well? It never dawned me that I was speaking the truth more than I was living it. I was like a parent who tells the child what to do, but then does the exactly opposite. So she tells that she was feeling like, oh, I'm giving them such a nice examples. I'm telling them everything, but why are they not practicing it? She's been like a mother, do this, do that, and all. Then one day, seemingly out of blue, I was diagnosed with vaginal cancer. So the author Louise Hay, all of a sudden one day she was diagnosed with vaginal cancer. First, I panicked. Then I had doubt that all this stuff I was learning was valid. So then she started doubting herself. What is this? What is happening? I've been practicing, I've been reading books, I've been teaching everybody. Then why did I get stuck with, why did I get vaginal cancer? So she started doubting herself. Then I had doubts that all this stuff I was learning was valid. It was a normal and a natural reaction. I thought to myself, if I was clear and centered, why wouldn't have the need to create the illness? So she was thinking, why did I create this illness? Why did I get this illness when I was doing everything correct? In hindsight, I think when I was diagnosed, I felt safe enough at that point to let the illness surface so that I could do something about it. So look at her thoughts, look how she was thinking. Even though she was diagnosed with vaginal cancer, she's like, okay, so this disease showed up. It showed up to me. So what can I do now so that I could treat my cancer? I knew too much by then to hide from myself any longer. I knew the cancer was a disease of resentment that is held for a long time until it eats away the body. So then she got to know that, oh, okay, this cancer is because of the resentment that she is holding. So remember, her master before told that, like, I think you were probably having resentment in your life. So now when she was diagnosed with vaginal cancer, she was introspecting and she was analyzing herself, and she got to know that, probably because of the resentment that I was holding all my life, the cancer might be showed up on the body. If we spend a lifetime suffering things down, then we'll eventually manifest something in the body. I told you, right? Resentment is nothing but a deep anger, deep disappointment, deep unfulfillment in ourselves. It can be on ourselves, it can be on others. It's like a deep negative emotion that you're holding to on yourself, for yourself. I became very aware that the resentment which my teacher had referred to so many times within me had to do with being physically, emotionally, and sexually abused as a child. Here you go. She says that when she was a child, she was physically, emotionally, and sexually she was abused. So all those things, whatever she was going through from her childhood, it was all holding on. There is a saying that, we might forget, our mind might forget few things, but our body will always remember the trauma, or like, the emotions whatever we have. Our body is going to remember all of them. That's why, if we have any diseases, they are going to show up when we hold, when that negative pattern or negative emotions continue to persist for a long period of time, it is going to manifest as a disease. The same thing happened to the author. Right from her childhood, she was holding all that resentment inside her body. When she grew up, she forgot about it completely, but her body is still remembering. Naturally, I would have resentment. I was bitter and unforgiving to the past. I had never done any work to change or release the bitterness and let it go. So the author is telling she never knew before, but even after knowing it, she never worked on herself. She never released whatever bitterness, anger, whatever she's having, she never let it go. When I left home, it was all I could do to forget what happened to me. I thought I had put it behind me when it actuality I had simply buried. We have to understand here that forgetting is different from letting it go. So when we forget things, we think that, okay, we left it, but forgetting is different, and working on something which has, bothered you, or which had made you sad, or anything which had turned into trauma, or any bad experience or emotion, you have to sit with that. You have to let it go from your mind, from your body, and everything. That way it is not going to become a disease in our body. It is not going to hurt us in future. That's what the author is saying here. When I found my metaphysical pathway, I covered up my feelings with a nice layer of spirituality and hid a lot of garbage inside me. She very beautifully told. She told that when she was actually in her spiritual pathway and all, she told to herself that everything is fine. I'm in my spirituality. I'm doing this. I'm reading books and all. And but actually there was a lot of garbage which was hidden inside her. So that's what she was telling. I put a wall around myself that kept me literally out of touch of my own feelings. Whatever she's feeling inside, she built a wall around it, and she even did not know what exactly she was feeling. After my diagnosis, the real inner work of learning to know myself began. After she was diagnosed with a vaginal cancer, she really started working on herself, the real inner work. Thank God I had tools to use. I knew I need to go with myself if I was going to make any permanent change. Mark this point, permanent change. If you want to have any permanent change, you have to go very deep inside and you have to work on it. Yes, the doctor could give me an operation and perhaps take care of my illness for the moment. But I did not change. But if I did not change the way I was using my thoughts, my words, I would probably recreate it again. That's what she's telling. We have treatments, we have medicine, we have cure. Whatever the disease she's having, the doctors might treat it, but her thoughts, her patterns, her emotions, whatever she was having, if she did not change it, it is going to reoccur again. It is going to come back again. That's what the author is saying. I might recreate it again. It is always interesting to me to learn where in our body we put our cancers, on which side of the body we are our tumors, the left or right. The right side represents the masculine side from where we give out. Right side is the masculine, it is more like giving out. The left side is the feminine side, the receptive part from where we take in, giving out versus taking in. Almost all of my life, when anything went wrong, it was always on the right side of my body. So, whatever she was giving out, she was not giving out properly. That's why she was having all the issues on her right side. It was where I stored all my resentment towards my stepfather. That's what she's telling. She is having immense anger, disappointment, grudge, whatever, everything on her stepfather. All that from her childhood and everything, it turned out to be a vaginal cancer. We're going to stop here. Thank you, friends, for joining today. Let's continue tomorrow for our 7th day of 41 days healing challenge. Thank you all.